We're here, an episode, a little crossover episode.
Part 2.
For the plot.
Yes,
With
sir.
Manny and BJ.
Yes, sir.
How are you guys?
Doing well. How are you
great.
doing?
I'm good.
Great.
Happy to be here. Always happy to be here with you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me
Feels
first.
weird being on this side.
Yeah,
so.
I'm a guest
Yeah.
now. This is different.
No. See, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, yeah. So tell us a little bit about both of you,
Yeah.
or whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, you can go.
Oh, you want me
She
to go
knows
first?
me. You can go first.
Oh, well, yeah. Most of you might know me as BJ now. So my name is BJ, Baron Spencer Jr. I also go by LoveTeddy. I'm a musician, independent musician. And yeah, I've just been grinding it out and going on tour and doing my thing. So
I am Manny Rodriguez. I'm just a regular guy. I actually know Ariana from grade school.
yeah.
And me and Teddy do a podcast called For the Plot. And a few weeks ago, Ariana was a guest on our podcast. We covered mental health. So we thought we'd do a crossover and show love back and
Yes.
kind of continue that.
Great episode.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Awesome.
A lot of
episode.
reception, great reception.
Yeah.
Mental health. Not saying that it's like a hot topic right now, but I think right now it is kind of a hot topic,
Yeah.
and I think it should stay a hot topic. In my
I think, yeah,
personal
it's a hot
opinion.
topic and people just want, I think we always think that we're always like not the only ones feeling something, but when you put it out there that you're also feeling this thing, people are just like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, you'd be
Me
shocked.
too. You know? Yeah. So,
Yeah, I just think it's a great thing that it's
yeah.
it's not so shunned and it can become a table talk now. It's not something you have to be closeted about, and there's so many resources out there now that I mean, you see it on TV all the time. There's apps that you can get help with or through. That is different hotlines and things like that. So it's just great that it's coming to the forefront, and it's not something that's so stigmatized. So
Yeah, we're here for
definitely
it.
with
We're
you
here
on
for it for sure.
I agree, because even with being able to, like you said, feel more comfortable talking about it, whatever, it still takes the courage to actually talk about it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
100%.
because
It's not easy.
it's not.
It's not easy at all. I mean, I think it takes a lot of people time. I mean, it takes your time that you want to start to talk about it. Because, like, I know before, like, I was very hesitant as a male to
Yeah.
talk about like
Yep.
mental health issues, like especially a black male. Like,
Yeah,
it's
Hispanic family's the same
very
thing.
Shunned
It's
upon
not a
to
thing.
talk about how you feel. Like, it's very weird to talk about it. So
No, I agree.
I'm glad that we're talking about it. So
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like you were saying, as a Hispanic male, dude,
Yeah.
you just grow up thinking like, "Yo, get over it," or
Right.
"That's not a thing," or "That
Right.
person's just soft," or like, "That's not a thing." It's just
Yeah.
you're just sad right now. You'll be all right. So
Put some
like you
dirt
said,
on it.
yeah, exactly.
Put some dirt
and
on
as
it.
a male, like we all just suppress our feelings just naturally.
yeah,
So yeah, I think the biggest thing is people should just know that the biggest step is taking that step and saying something or opening up, or like I said, even downloading an app and reaching out to someone through a screen. So yeah, thanks for having us, and
Thanks
thanks
for
for
having
opening
us.
Oh, thanks for
opening the
being here,
dialogue
guys.
on this, because it's very important.
Well, it's interesting because I was actually going to ask about even the male perspective, because, like you said, it's different, or like you feel like you can't show emotion, or you have to show less emotion because you either have to be the alpha,
Right.
Yeah.
or feeling a certain way because you don't want other people to think less of you,
right.
because you might be too emotional
For
or
sure.
feeling that way. But is that something that either of you, I don't want to say have struggled with, but dealt with personally?
I think just generally males just don't talk about things like that.
It's weird.
It's just more like
Because yeah,
you just
you're right.
more kind of brush it off and just have fun. It's like, for me, it's just like I'd rather just go hang out with my boys and then not think about it. And then I think on the flip side, I don't think many people ask males how they're doing, and not that they need to,
Right.
but I just think it's like a thing that's natural, that women are more nurturing and emotional and outwardly emotional, and men suppress that and just have to be the
I think I never-
breadwinners and things like that.
I think I never really realized it until I started dating, like actually like being in a serious relationship and like
Yep.
noticing like how much girls talk about their feelings.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
And make you
not
talk
even
about it.
not
And
even
make-
in a
yeah,
bad
they're like,
way.
and
And then
how do
like
you
when
feel
when
about
they
it?
want you to talk about it, you're just like, or like, do you ever notice
I don't
like
know
when
how to
like
do those things.
when like your girl comes home and she's just like, so like, what did you and the guys talk about?
Basketball.
Nothing.
Yeah. Video games. I don't know, the
I
norm.
don't know, like,
Yeah.
oh, he didn't tell you like why he broke up with Stacy?
Nope.
No.
That's the other thing. Things like that happen. You're just like,
Okay.
I don't know. She just wasn't
You
working
kinda
out. You're
brushed
like,
over it.
All
Yeah.
right, cool.
So-
And then things will happen where things come out, like with guy friends. Like at some
Right.
points they just all come out. Or
I
even,
think you don't really like open up to another male unless like
You really need them.
You really trust them.
Yeah.
Like with Manny, I trust Manny, so I'll go to Manny and vent to him.
We had a talk today.
Yeah, we literally had a talk today.
It was just like, yo, let it out.
Yeah, because like, I'll be honest, like, so if you don't know, I've been like making music for like 6 years, and like the music industry is so mentally draining to the point where like you have no one to talk to. Like if you don't have a close friend, you're sitting there with your thoughts.
Or at least it feels like it.
Or it feels like it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a person that doesn't have too many friends. So like me and Manny have known each other for like what, 4 or 5
years now.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years now. And like he's easily become one of my best friends. And it's like now that I have that outlet to like vent to someone, and like he's not gonna be like, oh bro, why are you acting like that? Like, get over it, bro. Like we can actually talk it out and be like, all right, bro, maybe you need to take a step back.
Just whatever you gotta say, like just say I'm here for you. And like I told him, I was like, sometimes, because we were talking about this earlier with the podcast, like sometimes we're trying so hard to put our all into something that we're hoping the reception is this grand thing that it's just widely accepted, and that we're getting that social media validation that we forget our purpose and why we're doing it. And then we also just kind of feed into doing it for other people, that we don't give ourselves that break to, one, appreciate what we did, and two, to be like, I already put all this effort in, like, let me just relax for a second.
Right.
And that's kind of where I was at with it. It was like, if people don't receive it well, like it doesn't mean something to you and that you didn't put your all into it. Like, give yourself that mental break of, I don't need to work right now. I already made the project. And two, take a step back and just enjoy what you worked for. Like the purpose is to release it. And yeah, you want it to be received well, but like also appreciate what you made. So I was like, if that means, because he was in between, like, do I need to keep doing this? Is it worth it? And I'm like,
because I've been working on this project for like 2 years. Yeah. I've been working on this album for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like me and Rads have been working on this for 2 years. And to the point where like I spent so much money on like recording here, shooting high quality music videos, like to the point where like, did we sign to a label type of music videos? Like that mentally, you putting all this money into it, you putting all this like effort into it to make high quality stuff, it gets to you, man. Especially like when like you have like this expectation to be like the biggest thing ever, which like in my area, yes, I might be the biggest thing ever. That should be like something like I like feel like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, well, like I'm not as big as Post Malone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I shouldn't be thinking about that. Yeah.
And that's what I said. I think sometimes you can take a step back and be like, even making a project is one of the most insane things ever. Like, who gets to do that? It's like a lot of the times we feed into other people so much that we forget to love ourselves and like, wow, I just did something that no one gets the chance to do. And people think about doing, or, oh, I would love to make music, but they don't actually do it. You have a whole album, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the hard thing for like, I guess males and mental health is like, we try so hard to be strong that it's like, when it's not working out, you don't know what to do. And the first thing to do is either shut down or just like keep it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that sucks because, and not even saying that for men, because I feel like I would agree with that. I feel like you guys feel that more because I do, and I don't want to say put on a front, but you're like, hold it in. Or sometimes you're like you said, well, did you talk about why you broke up with Stacey? I don't know why you broke up with Stacey. It just didn't work out. We didn't dive deep into that.
Yeah.
But, and for him, maybe that whoever this figurative person is, like that may not be as big of a deal. It's Stacey. It may not be as big of a deal.
Right.
But at the same time, you're like, this is still heavy and still something you need to talk about. But you also can't force people to talk.
Get soda.
I got you on this water.
But yeah, and like you said too, even with the starting a podcast, me starting Limitless, it's like this morning I put in an order for like more inventory, and like seeing the number, I'm like, because I'm like, how quickly is this inventory going to go? Is it going to sit? Is it going to, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm putting, thousands of dollars into something that you hope moves, and eventually obviously given with other inventory and stuff that I've had, it'll move, but I'm like, I'd like this batch to move faster. Or like you have the next goal of things, but like you said, I'm not fucking grunt style. I'm not Nike. I'm not, all these other things, but at least I'm like, okay, I can look a year ago from now and say that this is improved, or I've improved in my skills. Because even like we were talking earlier with social media.
God, that shit sucks.
I know. It is, but
it's so fun, but it's
beneficial draining in certain things, but it's absolutely draining, especially
draining.
I'm the one cutting my content. I'm the one posting everything. I'm the one doing 99% of the work. And I'm like, holy shit. Because now I feel like I have to be a jack of all trades. And I'm not good at all of them because I'm just learning how to do them.
Right.
But like we said, like you're putting stuff out there. And if it gets 50 likes, I'm like, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Because I'm I'm happy with that. And like you said, if you don't ever put it out, you don't know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen.
I just think for our own mental health and our own sanity that we need to take those steps back and be like, wow, I'm proud of what I did. Like, even if there's no reception, that was awesome. That one, I did it, took those steps, it's out there, and like I created something. I think, like I was telling you, we drop on Wednesdays, and every Wednesday to Thursday night, I'm like, why am I doing this?
Shiver.
Was it worth it? Was that episode any good? Like, this content we put out, like, it is what it is. I guess we'll do better next time. And then by Friday, I'm like, no, I did that because I had fun and it was fun. And I think about the memories and recording. I'm like, that was so cool. Taking the pictures, hanging out with you guys.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this for, like, of course, one day I would love for my podcast to blow up and be on top charts and things like that. And that's the ultimate goal. But it's not going to matter if the whole way there I'm hating the process and I'm just worried about what the reception is and I'm not enjoying it or enjoying my purpose or why I started in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's even more mentally draining knowing that I'm 4 episodes in and it's already like that. But
yeah, it's gonna get.
I love it.
Well, because then you realize how much work you're actually putting into it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And like we were saying, like there's a lot of people that are just like, oh yeah, it's a cool podcast. I love to go on and stuff. Or like so many people now like will hit me up and they're like, oh yeah, I wanted to start a podcast. I'm like, don't do it. No, but it's a lot, and it's you get to see the cool like minute clips that are funny and stuff, but it's a lot of work and it's a lot of mental exercises.
If you want to do it the right way, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I will say that if you want to do music the right way, if you want to make a podcast the right way, if you want to do clothes the right way, it's a lot of work.
You gotta have strong people around you.
Right. I'm not talking about like getting Gildan tees and just doing a press on. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about getting the inventory, shipping it out, recording the song, making sure the cover art's great, making sure the video looks great.
Running inventory, making sure it lines up.
Everything I just listed off, you're thinking about that mentally.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
And we're regular people. I got a 9 to 5.
Yep.
And my job doesn't stop either. So it's like I wake up, go to the gym so I can get some kind of serotonin or dopamine release and make myself feel mentally better and feel physically better. Then it's straight to work. Then it's coming home and building an episode or editing something or checking the comments or likes or whatever, see if it's doing numbers. And you're just like, for the moment I wake up to go to sleep, it's just like worrying about something. So yeah, if you are trying to do any kind of extracurricular endeavor,
we're not saying it's not
worth it. Like I hate to sound daunting or like I'm not enjoying it, but it's a lot of work and there's a lot of background noise that, especially mentally, that people don't see or think of. And it's like, I'm glad you're enjoying it, but like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And he's just now getting into
4
this
episodes deep.
Yeah.
Like
he's just now getting into it.
There's a lot that goes into it for us to like. It's gonna sound cliche, but like I'm giving my all for you guys to get these 40-second clips. That. I'm glad. Thank you guys for the reception. You guys are enjoying it, but like, yeah, there's a lot of work when it's something you truly care about, and it just goes back there. There's a lot of times that I'm just on my phone and my girlfriend's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, I didn't even know I zoned out. Like I'm just all over the place right now. So yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of mental exercise, and thankfully I love it.
I was gonna say, because like you said, it's like I'm doing a brand, and I'm like, why not throw a podcast on top of it? You know me. You know me. I can't sit still.
No.
I'm onto the next thing.
How is that? Like I'm doing one podcast, and I'm half of the podcast. I have help.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like being able to do the podcast has given me more content to put out. But even it's surrounding the actual clothing, so it's kind of nice because that's a little. I'm like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. No pun intended. But you know. That for me.
That was a bar. That was a bar.
You can use it. You have my permission.
I got you.
That, but no, being able to do that and feel comfortable in that, and as you keep going and keep doing it, it does get more comfortable. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck, this is a lot of work.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work. You can use all the AI shit and all the different
only helps so
stuff
much.
to cut it down. Again, because you're like,
pisses me off.
the internet and AI technology can only do so much, and you're like, this looks fucked. I need to change. They're like, all right, so much for this.
Come on, ChatGPT.
What's going on here?
Making me sound like a robot. I didn't ask for this.
I got to rework it anyways.
Now I got to be a human.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
now I have to
guess-
show
I guess
emotion.
I have to actually write this.
I have to feel my feelings. This is
Yeah.
bullshit.
Oh, man.
No, but it is. It's great that you guys are also open on to come to here to talk about mental health. And like I told Manny, I'm like, it's not like we got to deep dive in everyone's past traumas and childhoods and
But you're gonna
everything.
talk today.
But we're gonna have a conversation. God damn it! I'm just kidding.
You better get out of your talk.
No, no, not even that. But I think he even brought up a point about growing up different, like Hispanic family,
Yeah.
Black family.
Yeah.
Like I'm half Black, but I grew up with a blonde hair, blue eyed mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
But not saying that's different.
Still got that power.
But yeah.
it is different.
But it is different. Like growing up in a house, and not even to say making it about like race or anything. Like, but growing up with her would have been completely different if I grew up with my dad, or even if they had stayed together. Completely different.
I know people don't want to bring race into it, but like there is a different dynamic in different cultures. Each culture has a different dynamic.
Even like the reception, like
right.
I'm fully Hispanic, but I come from two different races.
True.
And there's a different dynamic. I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican, and the way
Those
they
are two
receive
different
each other
dynamics.
is different, and the way they look at each other is different. They both speak Spanish, but they're not always welcoming to each other.
Right.
I have a good family, so I don't really see it that much, but there is different dynamics, and it can be like wedges put in place. But like even like you, I have a Mexican father and a Puerto Rican mother, and my dad looks like not like a run-of-the-mill Mexican guy, but he's a lighter skinned person. My mom's brown, and I have a light-skinned brother and a light-skinned sister, and I'm the only brown kid. So the whole time I grew up, I don't look like anyone. So that like, but the thing is like that dynamic, it's like identity and who you are and where you fit in.
Right.
Like, growing up that way is kind of like, and then I walk around and I look like a African American kid. And everybody thinks that, and then I'm like, no, I'm Mexican. They're like, no, you're not. And like,
I did.
so I grew up a lot of the time. I'm like, where do I fit in? I don't feel like I fit in anywhere.
Well, people look at me too, and they'll think I'm Puerto Rican because of my hair. Even when my hair was longer, it was super curly. That people would always think I was Puerto Rican.
I thought you were a little mixed baby, a little light.
Yeah, I'm a mixed baby, but everyone thinks I'm Puerto Rican.
And everybody thinks
They'll be like,
I'm a
"It's 'cause of the
light-skinned
hair."
African American and white. I'm like, I'm Mexican.
What am I mixed with, guys? Guess. I'm mixed with something, guess.
Oh, I know. So now that you
that's
say
not
it,
fair.
his last
Do
name is
you know?
Dispenza. I do. We actually talked about it recently.
Yeah, what am I mixed
Is it
with?
because of your last name?
Yeah, it's
'Cause you
my
said
last name. My last name
Yeah.
is Dispenza.
How do you spell it though?
Despenza.
Language of origin, please.
Yeah. Well, because I worked
Can
with
you
someone
use it in a
Dispenza,
sentence?
but it's spelled differently. So that's why I was like, oh God, I don't know.
Italian.
Oh, I guess the
One of them
Z.
European mofos.
Yeah, I got a lot of white cousins. Yeah, a lot of white cousins.
I do not.
Mafia.
I did. I was like, I do, but I was like, I have more black cousins than I have white cousins.
I got black cousins too. It's all right. It's all right. We're
I do
mixed
not.
family. I do not, sir.
What was your original question? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Like growing up in different households.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
perceiving, like for me, like you know Erica.
Yeah.
Like wasn't like a suck it. Well, it was suck it up to an extent, but if I was actually like hurting about something,
definitely be there for
she
you.
would be there for me
Yeah.
and be like, all right, we got to go get this figured out. But I'll be honest, I never felt anything that dark or that deep until mid 20s. You know what I mean? Like, so even growing up, and so even then trying to talk to her about it, she's like trying to understand, like trying to explain to her anxiety. I was like, here's 2 books I've already read. Just take these books and read them, please.
Yeah.
Or
Facts.
even like, I don't even care that I'm talking about this, but like even my stepbrother, like he struggles with anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's like him too. I was like, read this.
Yeah.
Like it'll help you actually understand why your brain's
Acting this way.
acting this way.
Which is
and it's
nice
going to
because
actually
you
give
can-
you comfort.
You can kind of do that homework before you're like, I have to go and talk to someone or do it. It's kind of like, let me just read into this first.
Well, and it was nice because she actually too, because I would explain to her how I'm feeling, and she's like, I kind of get it, but I don't, like, not even in a bad way. She's just, I've just never felt that. I don't really know it. And I'm like, and she's like, can I have some of these books? I'm like, take them.
Yeah, here you go.
Take 'em. But growing up with her, and like you said, that was the cultural thing. I was like, is it different?
Yeah.
Because, it's just kind of, and this is from my perspective, from like my dad's side of the family,
Right.
like it's just the elephant in the room, and people just we just ignore the elephant that's in the room. Like, it's there, but we're just not going to shed light on it.
Oh, no, for sure. And
hate
I mean,
that.
I can make this quick, but like, in a fully Hispanic family, and like we're saying, mental health is so much of the forefront now that it's being widely talked about. There's commercials and things like that.
Yep.
Before, it was stigmatized. No one's talking about it. And depression, no one's really talking about things like that. But like in a fully Hispanic family, it's just like pretty much like, I'll give you a reason to cry type thing. And it's like, they stop being a crybaby.
Pretty much.
And it's, most people didn't know any better. And that's just kind of how it was. And not that, luckily in my family, I don't know of anyone that was really struggling that went for help and they were like, oh, get over it. But like, that's just the mindset. It's always like, oh, that kid's on medication. Why does he have medication? He just needs a good fucking ass whooping type thing. Like, we can get him together. And then that's just what the mentality was. Like, you'll be all right.
Like if it wasn't if it wasn't like an extreme, there wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to say it wasn't an issue, but it wasn't
like,
an
now
issue.
If it wasn't life or death, like,
probably people that
Yeah.
probably needed some help in some capacity, and it was always just like, oh, that's just what they're going through, and like, and you don't really talk about those things, and like if you brought things up like that, it was just like, okay, we're not going to tell everyone about this. It's just like,
like it stays here, and then you can work on it how you see fit.
People are definitely getting ignored, and like, no, you'll be all right. It's not that big of a deal type thing. So
pretty much, yeah. So I think I dealt with the same thing in my household, with pretty much the same thing. I'm what they like to call, my mom's gonna hate that I say this, I'm what they like to call a black sheep of the family. So like, I'm like, I know they all love me, but like, I'm not the route that they wanted me to go.
Yeah.
So like, I've always felt that because I'm the youngest of the family. I got 2 older sisters, 7 years apart.
Okay.
And you know, taking this route of like being a musician, going to college for music. My dad had a field day about that. Like he had a field day about it.
He was not happy.
What did they want you to do?
My dad wanted me to be a businessman, which I work in insurance now.
He bought his business.
Yeah, well, like
About your own business.
yeah. So like, I did that, but like me being 18 and going to college, I'm not going to waste your money on something that I don't want to do. And I'm going to one. I went to Millikan University, which is like a very good music school.
My cousin went to music, actually, for theater. She went to Millikan. Yeah.
Oh,
great music school. It's a beautiful music school. And why wouldn't I want to go to study music at one of the top music schools?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like,
and that's what you wanted to do?
yeah. So when I did that, it was more like, this is the 1%. You're not going to do anything with this, blah, blah, blah. And being 18 and hearing that while you're being shipped off to college, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
And I just remember like being in that music school, my professors were super supportive, blah, blah, blah. Go on tour, and they were supportive about that. But the thing about going on tour is while you're in school, you have to do your homework while
School
you're on the
don't
road.
stop.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I was not passing. So I had to do a senior
Oh, yeah. It's the super
victory
senior
lap. I had to do a victory lap.
Super senior.
And that victory lap broke me down completely. Like, cause like I came back late because I came off tour late, couldn't find an apartment, had to sleep on my friend's couch. And so my room is the living room. And this is super senior year. So just imagine me like being like 21, 22, girls are coming over and my room's the living room. This isn't.
I don't really stay
Something's
here.
going on up here. I don't know what it is,
This
but
is just
something's
temporary.
going on up here.
Hey, get off my couch.
So that's affecting
bed.
me.
Yeah.
In college, our refund check isn't that much. We're getting like $200 for a refund check. I had to work at a diner till like 3:00 in the morning. So like I was going through it, and I didn't know I was going through it at the time until like one of like my close friends now. She's my stylist now. Shout out Anna. She was my old best friend's girlfriend at the time, but like she would like always be around when Nick was in class. Wasn't supposed to say his name.
Shout out Nick.
Yeah, my fault. Whatever. He doesn't talk to me anymore. It's cool. So
We're not even deep.
we're not even that deep. But like, so like she would come and hang out with me, and just like having someone to like just hang out with that was like wasn't like judging me for like sleeping on the couch. It helped a lot. You know what I'm saying? But like also something up here was going on that I didn't know about. And I just remember it was 2013. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm just like, dude, I don't even want to go home. I don't want to fucking do anything, blah, blah, blah. I didn't tell anybody this. And I just know, like, I just walked outside to the backyard, and I just stood in the backyard for, like, a good, like, 25 minutes, just staring. I don't know what was going on. I was just staring outside. And I just remember, like, Anna, like, walked out because we had, like, they had a dog at the time. His name's Chops. And she was letting him out. She was like, are you good? And I was like, dude, I don't think I want to be here anymore. And I wasn't even talking about like being like at Milliken.
Yeah.
I was talking about I don't
Like
want
on the planet.
be here.
I guess, so
I don't want to be here anymore. And so like I just remember going through that, and I made a song about it. And my mom heard that song, and she immediately called me like crying, her and my grandma. And you're like, we didn't know you felt like this, blah, blah, blah. But that just tells you how much was like pent up when I was growing up, to the point where it was like, I got to 22 and I'm experiencing living in a living room. And now it's like,
Right.
So like,
and it shows you how like as a male, it's just like,
right.
It's all going on. You're just kind of like,
so I just want to make the point to like, if
like,
you're
I'm
feeling that, like, it's okay to feel that, but like also like find someone that you trust to talk to.
yeah,
You know what I'm
or
saying?
an
'Cause that
outlet
helps
in
a lot.
general.
Yeah.
I think-
Outlet in general.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
the
music
big
was
thing.
my outlet, but like
Yeah.
I also needed someone to like
Lean on.
bring
Yeah.
me out of that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Anna.
Shout out
That's
to
my
Anna.
homie. That's my homie. So yeah.
Man.
Do you have a question? I don't want to like.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
What would your next question be?
Yeah,
we
what
don't
was
have
it?
to hit it. I just making sure I'm not.
No, you're not doing because it was pretty much just that, or like
Oh, yeah.
there was anything that not like your deepest darkest secret or your
Yeah, no.
deepest
So I
darkest
guess
time,
going on like mental health for males and like mine was always when you posted about this before, like thoughts of like negative thoughts and like thoughts of loneliness, and mine stemmed from what I talked about earlier, and I made lightheart of it, but a lot of it had to do with like identity and who you are, and I just never felt like I fit in. And a big part of it is like I'm a very social person. I've always had a lot of friends, but I've always felt like unique. And a lot of it stems from just being, like I said, I have a brother and a sister that look nothing like me, and just being in school and people are like, "That's not your brother, that's not your sister," and you're just like, "It is." Or like even walking out, like I said, people think they always think I was African American, and I'm like, I'm not. And that was okay, but then I would just be myself, and then I'd get like chastised for trying to be black. I'm like, well, it's fine when you labeled me, but I was never doing anything. Now I'm being myself, and now I'm the one wrong, even though you're the one that's labeling me. And then a lot that played into that is my parents worked a lot, and my sister's 5 years younger than me. My brother's 2 years older than me, but me and my brother are completely opposite people. And my sister was always way too young, so I spent a lot of time just hanging out by myself. And I had really strict parents, and they were really doing that in hindsight to protect us.
Yeah.
But I just spent a lot of time just by myself, just like hanging out, listening to music, and that's where a lot of my love for music comes from. I spent a lot of time just hanging out in my room, just freaking diving into lyrics and researching artists and things. And it got to the point where like my mental health, it never got to the point where I was depressed or anything, but it formed this mindset of being a lonely person to where I formed this barrier where I don't ever feel like I need anyone. Like I feel like I don't ever ask for help. I don't, like it gets to the point where like if people ask me for help for things that I know they could have Googled, I get triggered. Like I get upset because I'm like, why did you extend for help when you could have easily figured that out? Like my mindset's like, you could have figured that out on your own. Like, why are you asking for help when, and I think a lot of that has to do with the way my life transpired. Because like I said, I wasn't allowed to do much. So I found things that I really liked. And then by the time I had a choice to do something, I fucking left. Fucking moved to Kentucky and lived my own life. And it was kind of like, I've been trapped this whole time. And like I said, in hindsight, I know there was no mal intent, but it was just like, I don't know, I've never had a child, and I can imagine like you just want the best for them and you want to make sure you can keep them as safe as possible. So I definitely appreciate it. And I had a freaking amazing childhood and upbringing. I had everything I could ever ask for. I had great academic upbringing as well. So, and it panned out for me at least. So I'm very thankful, but I think a lot of that molded me to where I secluded myself, and I think it affected a lot of like my personal like romantic relationships, because it'd get to a point where like, you know, even now, like if I get in an argument and things, I'm like, my mind immediately goes to like, I don't need you. Like, I don't really need you. Like, and it's not that I don't or don't want to, but like my mindset is like, I've been on my own so much, and I've always taken care of myself and never extended my hand for anything, that my mindset's like, I don't need anyone for anything. Like, I can make this happen on my own. Like, I really don't. So I think that's it's so, and then like negative thoughts build off of like the loneliness. It's like, am I doing enough? How are people perceiving me? Like, I'll go to like random situations and leave and be like, wow, these people think I suck. And I'm like, no, you don't. And then I'm fine again. But like a lot of it's like, you can do this, but it's never going to be that good. And I feel like I've held myself back from so much in life because I'm like, you're not going to be able to actually do it. So you might as well just chill out. So I always get like really close to doing something and then I just like give up on it.
Like what?
Just like pursuing things that I like. I know one thing it's going to sound very childish. And I know when I talk to people before, they're like, it's stupid. But when I was in high school, I was actually most of my life from like third grade to junior, I was pretty overweight. And then the summer between junior and senior year, I lost 30 pounds in 3 months. And I did that because I really liked basketball. And my goal was, I just wanted to be a bench player on our senior year team, which I could have done. So I spent 3 months just fucking doing basketball drills nonstop every day. And I lost 30 pounds and got fucking pretty decent at basketball. And I went to like a pickup game before tryouts. And I was nervous as fuck. And in the first 10 seconds, this kid threw me a pass and it hit my hands and I dropped it. And then for the rest of the tryout, it wasn't a tryout, it was a pickup game. I just didn't do anything. I just passed the ball the whole time and I left and I was like, bro, you're not going to make the team anyways. And I never tried out. And I was like, fuck. And that was like one of my biggest regrets because I never knew if it was going to pan out or not.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's stupid at all.
I know, but like when I tell my friends, like, bro, you didn't play basketball since 8th grade. You would have never made the team. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't try out. But things like that and just like limit myself. That's why I did this podcast. And I'm like, all these things I want to do, like playing guitar, I just stopped because I'm like, well, you're never going to be in a band, so there's no reason to keep playing.
No, but you're good.
I was, and then I stopped for like 10 years, and now these fingers don't work like they used to. But things like that, it's just like environmental things that have transformed my mental state to like the person I am now is just, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had like clinical depression. I've never really... I've been in like a deep rut because my mind's so strong from tricking myself into thinking that I can figure this out on my own that like when I do get into those modes, I'm just like, nah, bro, you got this, which is nice because like I feel like my brain is strong, but a lot of the time it's like, you should probably start asking for help for certain things. But yeah, I think that's where my mental health has grown into and like where I suppress things. It's just like, nah, bro, you'll be able to figure it out. So yeah, that's at least my journey.
I mean, that also goes back to culture too, because like the whole thing.
That's the other thing. Is like, who am I going to talk to?
Not asking people for help, like that happens to me too. Because like my thing is, when I ask for help, it always comes with like 20 other loopholes that I have to jump through.
Yeah.
So like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to ask for help. I'm just gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And in reality, that's what a lot of males go through. Like all right, Dad, don't take this the wrong way. If you even watch this, don't take this the wrong way. But the father-son dynamic is so messed up to the point of like, they're teaching you to not talk about anything.
Yeah.
And it's not a knock on my dad. It's not a knock on your dad. It's not a knock on anybody's dad. How they were raised, and I promise you I'm not passing this down to my kids.
Yeah.
We can't talk about anything. And if we do talk about anything, it's brushed over. It's brushed over real quick.
That's another cultural thing too.
Yeah.
Like, especially in like Hispanic cultures,
mm-hmm.
There's no I love yous. There's no, like, my dad shows me love and it's probably more than his father did, which I don't know. But like, there's no like, hey son, like the American dream type thing. It's not. It's like hardworking people that bust their ass to put food on the table, and they have to be the man of the household, and there's no weakness. So like when they have sons, they're just growing them up to be hardworking people, and there's no like, oh, I love you, son, give me a kiss goodnight. It's just like, that's what it is. And like, that's how my upbringing was. And like I said, mine was a little more outward, but still kind of the same thing. It's just like, that's my dad. Like, we will hug each other when we see each other and stuff, but like,
like, I don't want to say deep conversations.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like, hey, he teaches me how to be a man and like things like that. But I don't know. And I don't think I'm like asking for it because that's what I'm used to. But you notice that like that's just what it is. It's just strong male figures that create strong male figures.
But then you do go and hang out with like your other friends' families, and then you see their dads, and you're like,
American friends. You're like,
whoa, this is completely different.
Yeah, and that's another thing I know. Like, my girlfriend tells her mom everything. Like, we'll talk about something, and she'll like pull her phone and text her mom right away. I'm like, did you just
We don't
tell
do
your
that.
mom what we talked about? Not in like a bad thing, but like they're open. And I'm like, yeah, I would never do nothing like that. Like, which not saying that's a bad dynamic, but that like culturally, that's just how things are. It's just, and some families are way more open, but I don't know. It goes back to me. I've always just been kind of like secluded and just do my own thing.
Yeah, I think we had the same childhood.
Yeah, probably. It's probably why we have podcasts together.
It's probably why we're friends.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I guess that was always my journey, is just getting out of my own head and like reframing my mental thoughts and like how I look at situations. Yeah. But trying to do it in a healthy way and not just say it's going to be okay, you'll get through it, and like if anything, you'll take care of yourself type thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely changed me to like a very independent person. And like it's weird because like saying that out loud, because most people know me as this very funny, like outgoing person, but a lot of that stems from me wanting everyone to feel okay because I know what it feels like to not feel like anyone's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm a drama geek, so like I've never fit in. I played basketball. I was good at basketball, but the running joke in high school was that I was Troy Bolton. So like it's
damn, you cute.
Black Zac Efron right here. But that gets to you, man. It gets to you. And like being like the theater kid, and like I was the one dancing in a talent show. I was the one getting the lead roles in plays and stuff. Like I was that guy. And I also had friends who were like the cool kids. Like I wasn't like a nerd. I was an in-betweener, like the in-betweener. Like people knew me. I was cool. Like
that was same, brother.
That was same.
Like I was very in between.
But at a certain point, I think when I got to college, I stopped being the butt of the joke, because I was skinny little black kid, like
acting
easy to pick on. You know what I'm saying? Like my cool friends would pick on me and stuff like that. But now they see me now and they're like, "Well, you've changed," and I'm like, "Yeah." This is who y'all made me, kind of, pretty much. Like this is who I had to be, but I'm not different to the core of like I'm still that geeky kid. Like I love watching musicals. I love going to like Broadway and like seeing like Wicked. Lion King is my favorite musical.
Fire.
Like it's crazy.
I took 2 acting classes in college and it was the coolest thing I ever did.
It's crazy. Acting is. I think that's why I like acting so much, because like
so awesome. That
also has to do with the mental thing. Like you can escape your mental for a minute and go be someone else. You know what I'm saying? I can go be Danny Zuko or whatever the hell. You know, like I can go be him for a day and like escape my real life and then come back to this, and you're just like, all right. And just sticking out. I think sticking out is way better than like trying to fit in, because those kids that were trying to fit in are the ones that we see now, and they're like
bland as hell.
Yeah, I'm still in the same town, man. I'm like, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with being in the same town, but like,
you peaked in high school, brother.
Man, we gotta have something different. We gotta start talking. We gotta start enjoying these things.
That's for me. That's why I love doing the podcast, because, like I said, I was that kid that sat there and did nothing but watch music videos, listen to music, watch music documentaries and stuff. So like, I finally get to be that outlet for someone else. I don't know if I am, but I finally get to be that safe space for someone where we get to come and talk about things like this. And people like, for your episode, like people were DMing me like, oh my God, that registered, that hit home and stuff. I'm like, it feels so good to be on the other end.
So many people came up to us saying, I'm so glad you guys talked about
like,
that.
That was such a huge thing. And it feels good that like I get to be that saving grace that was saving me at one point. So
well, and I can relate too, even just growing up as an only child. Well, because mom didn't meet Roger till I was in high school. So it was like Christian. It was like right my way out of senior year that they moved in. So it's like I grew up as an only child. So I was alone, but it was, all right, figure this out. You're going to be independent. You know, I'm staying at home at 10 years old, walking myself to softball practice 3 blocks away. Like, but that was what I had to do also with a single mom. Like, it's also just what you had to do.
Yeah.
It was just growing up quickly. Yeah. And I think, like, because anything that you just said, I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so my parents worked a lot because we didn't have much, and they were putting us through private school and things like that. And we were a low-income family trying to make better for ourselves. They were making better for us. So they worked a lot. So, like I said, not that they were always out of the house, but there was periods of times where there was either one parent home or not, and then one parent's taking care of the kids and stuff. And like I said, my sister's 5 years younger than me, and my brother's 2 years older, but we're completely different people. So growing up, I really loved sports, and he really loved playing video games, which I love doing now, but at that point I didn't. So it's like, hey, do you want to go play catch? And like, I don't blame him. He's like, no, like, I don't like doing that shit. And I'm like,
you see this controller in my hand?
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't blame you because you don't like doing that. I'm not going to force you to do it. So I spent a lot of time by myself. But like people didn't know, like I loved going to school because one, I was out of the house and I love talking. So I was being social.
Your friends are there.
And my friends are there. And like I said in past episodes of our podcast, like my friends at school were the people I've known since I was 4. So it was like, wow, I get to go hang out with my mini family and we get to go and just mess around for 8 hours. So like I would be at school. If we went in at 7:15, I was trying to be there at 7:02 because I'm like, I want to get the most out of this.
Right.
And then I go home and just do my thing. And like, I like to cook now because a lot of times I was just watching Food Network and like learning different skills. I was watching Jeopardy and like learning different knowledge.
Yep.
And I was watching music videos. So like a lot of the things that made me is because I was just sitting there freaking consuming a lot of stuff because I was like, well, I can't really leave the crib and I don't really have someone to interact with. So I might as well interact with the things that I really enjoy. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's why I'm a pretty social butterfly because I'm like, I couldn't wait to like just get out of my room.
That's weird how that turns you into a social butterfly. And I'm like, I'm super secluded though.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I don't trust a lot of people.
Other people don't know this either. I told them on the way here, like I have, now that I'm getting older too, like my social meter is only so large and people don't know that. Like I really like my alone time too. And I don't even think like even like my girlfriend realizes it. Like there's so many times where I'm just like, and she's like talking. I'm like,
go in the other room.
Yeah, I'm just like, I really just want to like just be in my head.
I need to sit
and just like stare at the TV
speak.
and not even consume what's going on.
And you're not even trying to be mean about it. You're
It's just like,
you're just like, please go in the other room.
Like even like family events and stuff, there's like a point where I'm just like, I really just want to go and sit in my room like and watch a music video like I used to when no one was bothering me. But yeah, I'm just rambling now. But
no,
you're not. You're talking facts.
Because you're talking and you're talking about how you feel, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, talking about facts, man.
Because like you said, we've known each other for almost 2 decades, and I just learned something new about you.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's what it's here for,
that's
man.
Me.
You have the benefit. See, you have the benefit of having a lot of friends. Like, so like,
yeah, it goes back to all
my
that.
thing is like, I did the exact thing same thing you did, to the point where like, I was very to myself. Me and my sisters are 7 years apart. My parents were divorced. I lived with my mom. Me and my dad don't have the greatest relationship. And so I was pretty much like by myself, but I didn't go to the point where like, I want people to like hang out with me. I only had one best friend. I was kind of like his sidekick, and I didn't realize it until I got older, but I was kind of like his like butt of the joke. Like I was kind of like the guy he would like pick on. I didn't realize it until I got older. And I think that kind of affected me mentally too, you know, because you don't realize, when you realize something when you get older, when you look back on something when you get older, you're just like, damn, why did I let that happen?
Yeah.
That kind of hurts you too.
Yeah.
Because at that point, well, even like you said, like you didn't know.
Yeah.
You're
I didn't know
we
at
were
the
just
time.
friends, and this is how friends treat each other.
Exactly.
And this is our relationship. And then you look back and you're like, that's actually kind of fucked.
Yeah. So I think that kind of affected me too. And the whole having divorced parents is crazy, man. Crazy, man. I don't wish that upon anybody.
No. Well, even like single parent, my dad, well, he never got his shit together.
Yeah.
He lived in the same town that we lived in.
Yeah.
And I probably saw that man maybe 4 times a year.
Yeah. So I won't shit on my dad too much. My dad is a great man. He's a great man. We just don't think the same.
Yeah.
So 2 people that don't think the same, and I'm 30 now. I'm an adult now. I can't.
Yeah, I had a hard time.
My
My dad too when I was growing up. 1, because I was probably just an angsty little kid, but 2, we're the same person. So we're just two strong-minded people, and it didn't work a lot of the times. But yeah, going back to your point, like my goal was never to have a lot of friends. My goal was to connect with people. So like I always wanted, and like you'll notice, because even when I was talking to Rads, like I asked him what his favorite musical equipment, like piece of equipment was. It's because like I like to make sure that like when I'm meeting people, it's not just for you to like me. I'm not doing that to be like popular. I like want to connect with people to make sure that like
you want people to know that you care.
Yeah, and they're being seen. Like my main goal is to like not make everyone happy or like me. It's to make sure that everyone knows that someone sees them and they feel like they're there and that they're not alone. So like I think that's how I generate a lot of friends, is because like I try to make people feel seen.
Yeah, I have trust issues, so.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing. I'm not trying to like bring everyone in, but it's like if I'm talking to you, like I genuinely care about that person as a person, and like you're not just somebody that I'm just.
So when I say trust issues, I'm not talking about like I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, no.
But like I'm actually talking about like the trust and like actually bringing someone into my family, because I don't have a lot of people in my family. Like my family dynamic's not that big, and like I said, if I trust you, you're my brother. You're my sister. You're my brother. I'm gonna take care of you for life. Now, if you bring somebody new in, and their energy's off, I'm probably not gonna talk to you. I'm probably not gonna say one word to you in the party. And
You're not being
my
taken care
girlfriend
of.
hates that. She hates that. She's like, "Why do you look so mean?" I'm like, "Cause I don't trust everybody that I meet."
Yeah.
You gotta like put in the work to like let me
that.
know like, all right, you're real. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go to therapy. Sorry.
No, not
Stop
even.
trusting everybody.
Yeah.
No, I think if it was the complete opposite, and you'd be like, I trust everybody and everyone's welcome. Like, there's one thing about being welcome, but there's one thing about also having boundaries and being able to, say, all right, well, it's nice to meet you, and you know, I'm sure we'll see each other again. And
like my girl will come home, she's like, did you like so and so's husband? I'm like,
don't care.
He was cool. He was cool. Like, oh, would you hang out with him again? I'm like, sure.
You're like, and which one was he?
Yeah, like sure.
If I have to.
Now there are some of her friends, like husbands or boyfriends that I connect with well, and like, yes, I will hang out with them, but they're not gonna be my best friend because she knows I don't have a lot of friends. Yeah. So like, she's like, do you think it could be a? Nah, I'm not looking for a best friend.
I always have room for another friend.
Manny's like, everyone's welcome, and I'll connect.
I'm not looking for another friend, man.
On the contrary.
But that might just do with my old best friend. So
yeah, but that's what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, and I have a smaller circle of people, like even Manny, because I've known him forever.
Yeah.
Well, not saying just because I've known you forever, but that's been a huge thing. That's been a huge thing. To also say that, between you and Danielle, you guys are my longest friendships of 20 years, which is wild to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still friends. You know what I mean?
Not a lot of friendships last that long.
And we're still friends. And I like your relationship, her relationship, like are very near and dear to my heart. Because I also know you two 100%. Are the ones that like nothing's ever going to change.
Oh, no. And I had a talk with her last weekend because she had some things going on. She was like, I just want to make sure that we're good. I'm like, bruh, not that some people just need to hear it, but I was like, don't ever worry about that. Like, even if we got in the biggest fight ever, I'm never going to be like, oh, she's write her off.
That's
or
your
you
McKenna.
Either. Yeah, for real. I'm just like, hey, we're good. Like, I'm glad we talked about this. And it wasn't even anything between us. It was just like, there's a possibility that I could be mad about something. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, we're locked in forever. You just got to deal with me.
I know. And then we're stuck. No, but I agree. I think I have a small circle. And like you said, I was the in-betweener because I played sports, but then I was in chorus. And then the chorus people were, your quote-unquote theater geeks.
Yep.
But that too, and even touching on your identity thing, I'm like, who else was listening to all the shit we were listening to in high school at an all-girls Catholic school?
That's crazy.
And then coming out at 17 being gay. Like, there's too many things happening.
There's a lot going on here.
You know what I mean? So it's like, even all that happening, even in high school, but having to put that all together and feel like, all right, I feel, I'm not into this. I'm not into this. I'm good at sports and I have my friends here. I have these things going for me. But how do I make it seem like I still fit in? Yeah. And that was the hard part.
Man, teenage years suck.
They do.
Suck.
They do.
Because now that I'm older, I'm like, why the fuck was I trying to do that? Like, why was I trying to fit in with these people?
Like,
I will
cares?
say, the one thing I'm proud of is I was myself.
You're a rare species.
Dude, I think it's because that's all I had. I was like, fuck it, might as well be. Like, I wore freaking screamo band tees with like melting faces and bunny rabbits with guts coming out and stuff, and I was just like, this is what I like.
Yeah.
I only get one shot at this.
I was wearing a lot of baggy things.
I didn't think I ever super emo.
changed
My dad wasn't
either.
having it, but like I got to wear my band tees at least and some black jeans.
Yeah.
Some skate shoes, but like, yeah, no. I even now, like on my Instagram, I post nothing but like screamo songs. And like people probably think I'm weird. And I'm like, but I don't care. This is what I like. And maybe somebody's gonna be like, that was a cool song I never heard before. So like, I don't know. And I'll say it all the time. I love screamo music. It's my favorite type of music.
He does.
it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
it
people
does.
look at
I'm
me
not
and they'll be like, I never thought you would listen to this. I'm
I've
like,
never seen him happier.
I'm
people
like,
don't
I
get
listen
that
to
'cause I just throw it in
everything.
their face.
But it's like, I listen to
Never seen
everything
him
too.
happier.
I'm like, if it sounds good, I'll listen to it. I don't care what genre it
I
is.
100% agree.
The only thing
But-
he won't listen to, Drake.
Yeah.
Really?
If I
We
have
used to listen to Drake.
You don't bring that
Thank
up right
you.
now.
We used to
We
listen
don't
to
talk
Drake.
about that.
Thank you so
No, I
much
don't-
for
Nothing was
saying
the
that on your
same.
podcast.
Yeah, I don't-
Clip that, JV. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's right.
I was like,
I still, it's what it is. What it is. He's just not my favorite artist, and I don't hold him to
That's
this
fair.
like standard of being like this amazing person that most people
okay.
do, which is
It's
fine.
okay.
Like
I'm
I'm
just
not.
making fun of
Leave me alone. It is
like,
what it is.
now
He's
I
not my
feel like
favorite.
I'm being bullied,
Yeah.
and I'm not in a safe
Now
place.
my mental state is fragile.
I'm fragile.
I didn't mean to make you feel like
This
that.
isn't my
you're
safe
good.
place anymore. I want to go home.
It's this thing off. Get me out of here.
But no, I appreciate you guys also just willing to be as vulnerable as you want to be too. Because again,
Oh, man.
like even you guys talking about identity, identity same with you and being
Yeah.
like, there was a time where I didn't even want to be here.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's heavy.
that's very heavy.
That's heavy.
Yep. I mean,
And- And you're still here to tell us about it.
I'm still here to tell you guys
Hey,
about it.
I'm
man.
happy you guys are still here.
You know
by
what
the
I'm
way,
saying?
thank
Yeah,
you for
like,
being here.
I want whoever is listening to this, I do want you to know if you are feeling like that, like it's absolutely okay to feel like that. It's just more of a like, it took me time to like think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not easy for everybody to think about it. Like, you got to think through it, actually like have someone to talk to. And luckily I had Anna. So like, that's not to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So if you do need someone to talk to, even if it's someone on one of the hotlines,
Even if it's
Talk
us
to
and you
him.
don't know us.
yeah, like even legit, if you want to send a DM to For the Plot, Manny, me, send it to me. I will talk to you. I will talk to you about it because I've been there. It's not the greatest place. It's dark. You don't think about anybody else but yourself.
Also,
So, like, yeah,
I want to highlight this. If you are a teenager or an adolescent, someone's young and you're listening to this, because like I said, I've been that kid that seems like you're never going to get out type of deal. In those years, you really feel like time is never going to move and that it's a final part of your life and you're never going to grow up. You're never going to get to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Please process those emotions because I promise you, when I was 16, I was like,
felt the same way.
2 more years till I'm 18. I'm never going to get there. It's not even like this shit's never ending. Like,
Yep.
you don't see in that moment when you're so young that life is infinite and that it can go, like, you're going to grow up and be this 32-year-old guy on a podcast. But like, for the youth out there, time seems so permanent and it seems like it's so fixed and that it's never going to expand and you're not going to get out of either that small town or you're never going to get out of high school. And then I promise you one day you're going to be 27 and be like, wow, how did high school fly by that fast? How did college fly by that fast? So just give it time. And then going back to what BJ was saying, you owe it to yourself to at least talk to someone or get it out in some facet or try to get help in some way if you're feeling that down in the dumps or you're feeling anything that heavy. But
And-
I just want y'all to hear that because
Yeah.
I wish someone would have told me that when I was 16 because you're just like, this is it. I'm never getting out of here.
Yeah.
Right. And like my outlet was music, and some people's outlet is writing it down.
Yeah.
Some people's outlet is going for a run, taking a walk, whatever. Like you said, you don't know what you could be. Like, you're literally limiting yourself to like the potential you can be. The dreams that you have in school that everybody's making fun of, you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at me right now. Look, like, I'll take off my glasses for this. I went on a national tour,
Oh, yeah.
like with Waka Flocka. Like, I'm from Plainfield, Illinois. Like, what do you mean? Like, you can't limit yourself because you don't know what you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? So if that helps you put it in perspective, always come back to this video and watch this right now. Like, for real.
I'm just a regular dude from Aurora, Illinois, whose podcast was listened to in Lithuania.
You're a host of For the Plot.
That's big.
You are. You are a host for The Plot. You
Yeah.
are Manny Rodriguez. And I'm just a girl from Aurora, Illinois, who's out here doing the things, trying to do the
Slanging
things,
merch.
trying to build things.
Merchy.
Merchy.
We are proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, what are you
I'm
talking
proud
about?
of you. I'm proud of both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Proud of both. I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
This is great. Even when you were talking about happy to be here, I'm like, I have it tatted on my leg. It just says happy to be
Ooh,
here.
I want
Full
a
circle.
leg tattoo.
Yeah.
Random thing. I just, yeah, sorry.
Little
Well,
leg sleeve.
no, it'll hurt. Because I have my lower half done.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh, you do?
Oh, you have.
She's got piano keys.
I want to
They're
just
sick.
like the calves. Yeah.
The shin was the worst.
I just want like if when you're happy, you're happy. When you're sad, just right here. I don't know why. I want it right there, but
I like that though.
yeah.
I'm all for it. So now, since we're reaching the end,
Yeah.
I have 3 questions for each of you.
Top three.
Top 3. The first one is just when you're in a negative headspace, what's your go-to song to listen to? And you can only pick one.
I already
came
me
prepared.
hard.
I'll answer.
I was like, you want me to go first? You got time?
Yeah.
It's going to be a song by my favorite band, Chiodos. Wearing them today. It's called There's No Penguins in Alaska. They're a post-hardcore band, so there's a lot of progressive chords. But the song, it's like an angsty teenage love song about falling in and out of love. But it goes through every emotion you could ever go through, and it's like singing and then soft parts and then heavy chugging and breakdowns and heavy riffs and things like that. So it's my favorite song because you get to go through every emotion and feel every emotion and get it out in one song. So by the end, you're like, all right, I got out of the funk. So it's my favorite song by them ever. On my favorite album by them. So yeah, There's No Penguins in Alaska.
Was that one that you learned on the guitar or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You still have your guitar, right?
Oh yeah.
I think it might be time to...
The old Schecter.
Old Schecter. Might be
Maybe
time to
I'll
bust
dive
it back out.
in. We'll see. I think about it every day.
You put me in a hard place. I'll say Redemption by Drake.
Ooh,
That's
I do like that
is
song.
a good one.
Yeah, that
That's a
gets me
solid
out
one.
of.
that is a good one.
Because usually when I'm in a negative headspace, well,
Is that
I'm
Views?
Yeah, that's views. I'm in a relationship now, but usually when I'm in a negative headspace, I was always sad about a girl not liking me or like, being a musician sucks. Being a musician, you meet a lot of girls that just want to talk to you because you're doing something very cool to them and you're being used. So that's when I was in my negative headspace a lot. So Drake's Redemption is about, talking about an ex-lover, thinking about redemption with him, but it's very deep. The melody's very good, the beat's very good. So yeah, I would say Redemption by Drake is
Solid choice.
Those are both solid choices.
yeah,
Solid choice.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is, what is your purpose?
That's deep.
I feel like I've always known my purpose, which goes back to what I was saying. I feel like I'm here to serve others, and just be that person for other people that they might need in a time of need or whenever they need help. Before I got into, I work in sales now. Before I got into sales, I actually went to clinical psychology as my undergrad major. And my goal at the time was to become a clinical psychologist in either adolescent therapy or family therapy. So always wanted to be there for people and be someone they could lean on and go to for support. And like I said, I think an underlying goal in my mind all the time is to make people feel seen and feel welcomed and feel like they're not alone. So yeah, I think serving others, and I think that's why I have a podcast now. It's hopefully be an outlet for someone out there in Lithuania.
Yeah, we are being listened to in Lithuania. Yeah.
And whoever's listening in San Francisco, thank you. Sorry, enough about me.
My purpose. I truly believe, there's a lot of things that lead to this, but I truly believe God put me here to be an example to these small town kids that are trying to make music, that are trying to be creative, because I've been put in a lot of spots that I don't deserve to be in. I deserve to be in them. But me personally, I don't deserve to be in them because a 20-year-old meeting Tory Lanez or a 20-year-old meeting Aaron Carter or all these other people, R.I.P. Aaron Carter for real. All these bigger names, like I said, I'm from Plainfield, Illinois. I used to sleep on the couch. I used to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't deserve to be here. So I think that God put me here to be that example, to be like, you can do this too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not on that magnitude of a level of being Drake or being Kendrick, I think I'm here to show you that you can make this type of music.
Oh, yeah.
From your hometown. You can still go out to the dive bars. You can still hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
And you can still have people love your music.
And create something beautiful.
It doesn't have to be on a major label. It doesn't have to be on a major level. You can go on a nationwide tour without any of that.
Yeah, and it's someone to look up to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's truly what I think I'm here for, and just to give guidance to those creatives too. So yeah, that's my purpose for sure.
Yes. All right, and last one. Even though we kind of touched on it throughout the whole podcast,
Yeah.
but if there's one piece of advice that you would give to the listeners, either about mental health, mental wellness, like how I talked last, or 3 weeks ago about how like I journal or I'll go outside and go grounding. Like, if there's anything that you share that you think has been beneficial for you, or just a piece of advice that you would want to give.
I didn't share this earlier, but I work in the mental health space. And I just think the biggest thing is advocate for yourself, whether that means talking to your physicians or your therapist and asking for more help, or letting them know that you're still not where you want to be, or you're still not doing okay. Or even in the smallest factor, do something that helps yourself, and like just love yourself and do something that's going to benefit you, and don't worry about what others think. And if that means you're doing something so private as journaling or whatever it is, just find something that helps you feel a little bit better every day or whenever you need it, and don't feel like you're a nuisance. You earned it, and you deserve to feel like yourself.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a very good question. I would say to whoever's listening right now, you should really just do what you want.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds so cliche, but those shoes that you want to wear that someone made fun of you for, wear them, because I promise you, you're going to go to a bar and someone's going to compliment them. Take the dance classes. Try out for basketball. Do whatever you want to do that's making you...
Big on that.
I second that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes back to, you never know, man. You really never know what's going to turn out. Like, it's crazy to live this life. It's crazy to be in this life. But if you don't go and try, you never know. And then you're going to sit here and just be like, well...
You already got no.
You already have no.
You already have no. So, like, I could be doing... You're going to turn to that guy to be like, I could be doing what he's doing.
I could have played
All right, well, then
basketball.
you know what I'm saying?
2011.
Like, you just do what
you're
you want to
100%
do,
right,
man.
though.
Just do what you
You
want
are.
to do, man.
You might as well try, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, and even like us, trying with our podcast, trying with our brands, trying with our music,
Hey.
trying with getting back, and I'm already going to put it out there that you're going to go back to playing the guitar. But,
I'll get you something
know,
together.
yeah, see?
I'll
That'd be
film
hard.
something for you.
That'd be
Yeah.
hard.
We featured on Teddy's next
You know
song.
what I'm saying? That'd be hard.
I'll play drums for you.
Yeah.
See? Red's got
go.
drums. You got a whole band here. I play the keys. We're all set.
The band's back together.
Also, everybody from For the Plot, JV's here.
Oh, yeah.
JV's
Yes.
here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming, guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thanks for showing up.
No,
I love you.
I love you too,
Love
dude.
you too.
Thanks for having us.
This was fun.
If you want to check us out, we are For
Yeah,
the Plot
where can they
Podcast.
find you?
For the Plot.pod.
Yeah, the number 4,
Yeah.
the plot.pod on Instagram. We have a link tree there. You can,
This is Mr. 630.
Aurora's finest.
I'm by LoveTeddy on everything.
Yep. We're
JV.
on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.
El Campo JV. El Campo JV. That's our
And
cameraman.
we
We got to
have-
get JV a camera soon.
We have an episode Ariana, so
Yeah, we do.
check that
Also
out
true.
if you're going to
Yeah.
check anything out. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
thank you, Rads.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
for that.
Rads.
Thank you, Cinnamon Sound Studio.